lighter note, though, I wanted to talk a little bit about the NFT story with respect to digital houses, because I talked about this on one of my podcasts really as a joke. And what do you know, just a few days later, or maybe the next day, I'm starting to see all these stories about digital houses being sold as NFTs. And in fact, one of the things I used to say about Bitcoin, because people kept saying, well, Bitcoin, is digital gold. And I said, well, no, it's not digital gold. It's nothing like actual gold. So it's not a digital version of gold, because you can't do anything in the real world with Bitcoin that you can do with gold. I said Bitcoin is no more digital gold than a digital house would be a house, right? Because it could look like a house, but does it provide any shelter? Can you live in it? No. So, you can't do anything with a digital house that you could do with a real house. And a digital house doesn't provide the utility and value of an actual house. That's the same thing with Bitcoin and gold. If Bitcoin is digital gold, okay, but can you substitute digital gold for actual gold? Can I make jewelry out of digital gold? No. Can I conduct electricity with the digital gold? No. So if I need gold in a computer chip, I can't say, well, let me take some of that digital gold. No, it's not going to work. And that's the same thing with a house, except people don't seem to realize this, because people now want to buy digital houses as investments. Now, look, I can understand if you wanted to buy a virtual house as part of a virtual reality program, right? And you can live in this virtual house. And I can see that there's some value if you just can't copy the program online for free. It's like a video game, and you go and you buy it, and it's very interactive. Right, people could buy a virtual house to live in a virtual make-believe world. And there may be some cost, just like you buy any kind of computer simulation or video game. But there's a limit to how much somebody is willing to pay for that particular form of entertainment, because you're in competition with all sorts of other video games, and you're not going to pay thousands of dollars to get a digital house. Might you pay $50? Yeah, sure. But you're not buying it because you think you're going to sell it at a profit to somebody. You're buying it because you want to experience the digital house. Now, it's not the same as the experience as an actual house, right? People are willing to pay far more money for a real house. In fact, for a modest home. Even some of these tiny homes. I don't know if you ever see some of these little teeny homes that they're building now for people that are, just like you're living in a container or something. But even these tiny homes have more value than the biggest digital mansion. I don't care if I've got a digital mansion, I got, 50 rooms, I got 3 swimming pools, I got a bowling alley in there, right? Maybe I got a helipad on the roof, right? I got, really cool theater, I got a discotheque in there, right? I got all this stuff in my digital house. Yet, that program, if you were to buy it, would be way cheaper than the crappiest actual house that you can actually live in, that would actually provide you with shelter, a place to sleep, a place to cook your food and keep your clothes, right? So there's a limit. But what's happening now is people are buying these NFTs of houses, not because they want to, play virtual make-believe, right, and pretend they live in this house in their VR world. They're buying these houses as investments. They think they're going to appreciate, and that somebody else is going to pay even more money than they did for a house that you can't live in. This is all sheer nonsense. And I was reading this article, and they're talking to somebody who's at the company that's selling these NFTs. And this is the exact quote, because I wrote this down. Didn't think I'm making it up. He said real estate right now is at an all-time high, right? That it's risky to buy real estate. Prices are really high. Meanwhile, you have offices that are empty, hotels that are empty, right? He says virtual real estate is insulated from all of the risks of real world real estate, right? If you have virtual real estate, you don't have the same headaches that you have when you buy actual property, where, you have to worry about the property. Maybe you got to pay property taxes. You have maintenance, you have insurance, you got tenants, right? This is all a nightmare, right? And so why would you want to deal in the nightmare of reality when you can be in this fairy tale dream world of NFTs? And so, step away from that, and instead of investing in actual real estate, buy an NFT, which is complete nonsense, because when you're talking about real estate, not having tenants. Why is that a problem? Well, because tenants pay rent, right? You're buying real estate to get rent. Well, if you can't rent out your digital house, and I don't know if there's anybody dumb enough to actually rent a digital house. I mean, apparently there are people dumb enough to buy them, but is there somebody even dumber who will rent one? But the point is that the reason that occupancy rates are important to real estate is because that's what helps determine the value of real estate, because that's where the rents come from. It's the tenants that are providing the cash flow that turn real estate into an investment. But if you're acknowledging from the beginning, hey, you never have to worry about tenants with your virtual real estate because nobody's ever going to rent it from you, and so it's never going to generate any rental income, where is the value? I mean, real estate, actual real estate, has two ways of getting value. One way is you rent it to somebody else who uses it. The other way is you use it yourself, right? So if you can't rent out your virtual house and the only thing you can do is play in your virtual house, how much is that house worth? Very little.
The Peter Schiff Show.